Today I want us to look at the anatomy of the eyeball. Basically, I want us to look at the parts of the eyeball. Ebehwe eyeball and the parts na area the functions account. So basically we have anatomy and here we have physiology. Into your anatomy and your physiology. Because the anatomy basically you share the parts of the eyeball, the names and the physiology its functions. Into you look at the parts of the eyeball, you hear the functions. You'll be going over and over the part of the eyeball, you hear the functions account. So listen to me very carefully. Right. So this is the eyeball. And it looks like a ball, right? Yes. Now, it's a sensory organ. Are you okay? When you talk about the nervous system, with the component of the nervous system, we have central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And the peripheral nervous system, we having motor and sensory. We have general sensory and special sensory. So this is under special sensory. For instance, when I say general sensory, when I say touch, baby, I can feel it, right? But what about vision? I can only use one eye, only the eye. I can only use the eye to see. Body parts will be any one of my meeting them. It becomes a special sensory. But because I touch it, we can feel it here, so it becomes a general sensory. So the eye is a special sensory organ. Right. Now let's start with the parts. Radio. So we are seeing that we have the muscles over here. Are you okay? We have the muscle. You are seeing these red structures over here. These red structures. In fact, but in short. So they are really long enough, but in short. We have 6 of these muscles. So we call them, all the muscles are attached to the eyeball. They are from the extraocular muscles. Here, 4 penna is sure. I say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Penny is sure. I see these muscles are attached to the eyeball, but basically there are 6. We have 6 extraocular muscles. 6 extraocular muscles. And the muscles now are attached to the eyeball in the form of extraocular muscles. Some people tend to add one called the LPS, levator palpebrae superioris, making 7. But in actual sense, we have 6 extraocular muscles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have another one. One will be here. Any oblique, any straight. Since they are straighted muscles, only straight muscles, right? But the other ones need oblique. Until we have this one be superior rectus muscle. The one which will be here, right? And what has in a way, and what has the lateral side, right? Different lateral rectus muscle. But also here very close to my nose, medial towards the nose, different medial rectus muscle. So this will be the medial rectus muscle. This will be the superior rectus muscle. This will be the lateral rectus muscle. We are down inferior rectus muscles. And we have another one called superior oblique and inferior oblique. I know what I say, but mass structure into note say and also count. So we have 6 extraocular muscles, and they are attached to the eyeball. And what is the function of these muscles? They control the movement of the eyeball. Into my hair, so my hair up, my hair down, my hair left, my hair right. And me moving my head, it is being under the influence of these extraocular muscles, or you can say extrinsic muscles. So with the eyeball moving right, left, down, and up, while brow moving with it is under the influence of these extrinsic muscles or extraocular muscles. Until they control the movements of the eyeball. Very much important, very necessary. Until they control the movement of the eyeball. Until now, what's the name of these things over here, muscles over here? They are called extraocular muscles, or extrinsic muscles. How many are they? 6. Can we come by the names? Inferior rectus muscle, superior rectus muscle, lateral rectus muscle, medial rectus muscle, superior oblique muscle, and inferior oblique muscles, which they are not here. Interfacial with him, muscles that are attached to the eyeball and control the movement of the eyeball are referred to as extrinsic muscles or extraocular muscles. And I'm saying 6. Let's go: superior rectus muscle, inferior rectus muscle, lateral rectus muscle, and then medial rectus muscle. And we have another one in addition to superior oblique and inferior oblique. That is 6. And I'm saying that some other people tend to add another one called the LPS, levator pupil superior. But it is a voluntary muscle, alright, but it's not really an extraocular muscle. When I ask you how many are they, catch me say we have 6 extraocular muscles: superior oblique, inferior oblique, superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, and then lateral rectus muscle. So we are done with the muscles that are fully attached to the eyeball, and that is the extrinsic muscle or extraocular muscle. Thank you very much. Now let's go to the white part of the eyeball. The white part of the eyeball. Now, what is the name of this white part of the eyeball? We call this one the white eyeball, the white part of the eyeball, right? Baby, if it a friend is saying a friend of the sclera, S-C-L-E-R-A, sclera. The white part of the eyeball is called sclera. Sclera. Are you okay? Sclera. Wait. It's very tough enough and fibrous and protect the internal structures and also maintain the shape of the eyeball. What I say, that is the white part of the eyeball is called the sclera. Now let's move on to this very part of the eyeball. This very part of the eyeball. So let me take this one off. You're seeing this black thing here. At this point, we have the where the lacrimal gland is associated, right? But then let's forget about now. So let me open into the eye. Video. Okay, that's fine. Now let's look at this very first structure here. I had to say and a butu when in right? Video. Now this very first structure that we are seeing here is known to be the cornea. Cornea. C-O-R-N-E-A. Cornea. This is the cornea, right? Cornea. Now, yensha adiebi. Yefre adiebi cornea sclera junction or cornea sclera junction and a limbus. Limbus. Now, okay, now we have the sclera. I want to say the white part of the eyeball, and if anything, the sclera, right? Good. Now, you share this clear structure. If anything, cornea. Now, between all the junction between this white part of the eyeball and the cornea, this junction, a friend of the limbus, L-I-M-B-U-S, limbus, and now cornea and sclera junction. They kind of say corneosclera junction. So limbus, sclera, and then the cornea, and the limbus or cornea sclera junction. And we have my extraocular muscles. Very good. Now let's go to most of the internal structures as well. So this one controls the amount of light entering, not really controlling, but it focuses light into the eye. Okay, this cornea focuses light into the eye. Yeah, it serves as refractive purposes. Now, after the cornea, me cornea ni free one on one. Into we no, the cornea, into the way it's a ankasa. When it's shape. Into any kind after the white eyeball, if what's my coin, then they go to me. But sometimes not we are only to see, say, this but that is the cornea. The cornea. Wait, after the cornea, no, me go inside that there is a space between the cornea, a space between the cornea and the lens. But I'll come to that. Now, what structure to is this one? This is the iris. My child say, read the parts first. Into this is the iris. Into enoshaha. So, ana cornea no edi kan den eba. Into me cornea ni wi a me call iris. So, if you iris pair, I am going to this structure over here. This is my lens, not any other lens, but a crystalline lens. Into when you know we have a lens inside and a friend crystalline lens. Into share the crystalline lens and the cornea, they are very transparent. Yes, they need to be transparent. Otherwise, your vision will be distorted. Into cornea, they can able to and a lens they are all clear. They need to be clear, very transparent. Now, after cell lens, no, I go to this body inside the eye. Into on here, yes. Into brain, inside the eye. Free lens, no. We have also this over there. It is called the vitreous body. The vitreous body and vitreous humor. It is not freely circulating, right? It is over there. Together with the vitreous humor, together with the aqueous humor, which I'll make you know very soon, keeps the eyeball properly distended, keeps the shape of the eyeball. They really give it is a cornea no ASA with the help of the aqueous humor, it will make the cornea maintain a structure. At the back of the vitreous humor, so I have my retina over here. It keeps it in place until it keeps the eyeball properly distended. So this is my vitreous body, and now vitreous humor. Your aqueous humor, remember who is here, radio. Now, you have the aqueous humor, you have the vitreous humor. Say what ha? Lens nechi, lens no hiding echi. So lens no so any mono, you the iris oh. So your iris oh. Iris na ni mo no so no yewo cornea eden ewo hono. You really get the point. Now between the cornea and iris no yewo some fluid bi wo ho, insuo bi wo ho. And between the iris and lens no so no in so be so omunya ya de ba fluid wo nya ba e from aqueous humor into between the cornea and this is the iris. Between the cornea and the iris no you are in so be from the aqueous humor. And between the iris and the lens no so no in so be you friend also the aqueous humor sa. So I said aqueous humor no waha. And a lens nature we have the vitreous body. Radio. Empty again. Between the cornea and the iris, your aqueous humor. And between the iris and the lens and a crystalline lens and your aqueous humor. Into one a draining the abanim has until you have aqueous humor between the cornea and then the crystalline lens. And behind the crystalline lens too, I have my vitreous humor. And so there are two fluids over here, right? That's the aqueous humor and then the vitreous humor. The aqueous humor is between the cornea and the crystalline lens. And the vitreous humor is behind the crystalline lens. Now, this is the iris. The iris. The iris controls the amount of light entering the eye. Do you get it? And let's say if there's a bright light, with the introduction of a bright light, iris, the one say we have the center of the iris. The center of the iris. You're referring to the pupil, P-U-P-I-L, pupil. This is not a structure. Lens, The iris, I can meet muscle, it's a structure. But the pupil, no, it's not a structure. Right? It's not a structure, it's a hole. If any pupil, and I've been offending iris. The iris controls the amount of light area and same say light never need too higher. Iris ne be people na kete be a small light be the way to me say dem go how any no. Say light never na so ye too dim iris ne be bi ama iris ama people so I can see it. So the sense light no e dim into no it's near room am because without light you can't see. That is why more blind, you can't see. So with that light going inside the eye, you are seeing nothing. So it tells you with light, you are seeing. Into the inside of the iris is the pupil, and the function of the pupil, also say, it allows light to enter the eye. It allows light to enter the eye. See, you have iris, I have pupil. Pupil allows light to enter the eye. The iris controls the amount of light entering the eye. Simple as that. Again, the pupil allows light to enter the eye. The iris controls the amount of light entering the eye. Excellent. Now, behind the vitreous body, what is here? Right? What is here? Behind the vitreous body, where the internal part of the eyeball, and a friend of the retina. The retina. Are you okay? That is internal light. It be focus on the retina. Now, if we have these photoreceptors, right? We have these cones. We have rods. Cones for light vision or for day. That's color vision, and then the rods for black and white. So, and during the night, you know, we use when the light is very dim, with the help of the rods you see, and then the cones for daylight vision, right? When there's light, your cones will be much more active. And they are found here. This is the retinal part of the eye. So this is the retina. If retina now, are you seeing this structure over here? Yellow. This is the optic nerve. Oh, yes, you can see better here. This is the optic nerve. The optic nerve. The optic nerve. Do you get it? The optic nerve. Now, when I say yellow,